Chargers at Tennessee. Will the Chargers finish under 500 this year?
Well, say it's just so tough to answer right now. I'm going to pop up and look at the schedule. I'm going to cheat a little bit here too while I stall. But I'll say for right now, dude, it's so tough. I'll say it's certainly possible. And, I have so many things I want to get into with the Chargers, so I'll let you answer the question first before I even get into my tangents. But I'm going to leave my question or my answer to the question at that. It is certainly absolutely is possible.
Yeah, I think so too. I just think they just don't know how to win. And I don't know if you saw the post-game conference with Staley. Like when they asked him about the Jaguars loss, he was so heated about it. Like you can tell that team still thinks about it because he definitely still thinks about it. It reminds me of the double doink in Chicago in 2019, like after the 2018 season. Like that lived in the locker room and never left. Like the stink of the double doink and the stink of the loss to the Jaguars in the playoffs, that comeback, I do not think has left that locker room. And I think that's why they have started 0-2. And that defense is horrific. Horrific. You are a defensive head coach. We go over this all the time. Why are you the head coach? If you are not providing an elite defense, why are you there? What is the point? What is the point?
Oh, and again, let me be clear about this. There's very few professions where I would feel bad or not feel bad outright just saying on a live show, like, oh, this guy he's doing such a poor job, he needs to be fired, right? Well, the thing is, these guys are making millions of dollars. They are completely avoided from that because, again, they're making racks doing this. Again, you're expected to perform, especially when, again, what is his job specifically before this? Was DC around a bunch of legendary defensive minds. That's literally his MO coming in. That's, I'm sure, very much was his selling point at the end. Any negotiation was like, look, I've been around X, X, and X. I know a lot of very good defensive schemes. I know a lot of things. I've been around all these great guys. I'm going to come in your building and I'm going to bring these philosophies. He hasn't done that very clearly. And again, to your point about the Jaguars' loss still stinging, yeah, it's the loss and the 30-point comeback. It's also on top of it, the fact that what was the reason they sold? The defense. The defense is what killed them. And the very thing that he is supposed to be the one holding together, he can't hold together. It's been the thing since he's gotten there. I've been saying since basically day one of the hire that some guys just don't carry enough fire. And Jonathan Gannon did seem like very much, I'm on his guy, where I thought Jonathan Gannon very much fit into that same category.
Yeah.
Right. Again, I guess it's still too early to tell, but you get my point. Like some guys just don't seem like they have enough absolute charisma and fire to lead a group of grown men, I guess. Yeah. And he very much seems like he fits in that category. And again, do you think does he know his ball? Is he a great, does he, obviously when he was a coordinator, did he know what he was doing? Like, yeah, sure. And absolutely knows his ball. But in the terms of being the absolute leader of the locker room in that absolute leader position, is it working right now? Well, clearly not. And it is what it is. It's tough look too, because again, it comes down to the defense. But with Justin, talk has been this week, as we were talking about before, is the question has been, and it sounds like it's a hot take, but it's really not when it comes down to the question itself. It's not even, the question was, and a lot of people talking about it, is like, is Justin Herbert struggling, being an elite processor? Like, is the way he's processing the field right now still just a little slow? He locks on receivers a little too much, maybe. He's not moving his head just quickly enough, right? Again, sometimes it definitely does show up on tape. There definitely are some times where you're like, okay, and again, his talent will bail him out a lot of times because he's just such a laser thrower. He can read things a little late and still get the ball where it needs to be because he has that just natural ability. However, yes, there are certainly still some reps where you're like, all right, I want to see him move a little quicker, right? We want to see that. And but again, I can't, even with that still being true, it does not matter because the problem with the team does not come down to the offense. The problem with the team comes down to the defense's inability to consistently execute, stop the run. There's so many things they just haven't done anything consistently for like a 2+ year period of time. And they have so many stars on defense. It's the worst part.
Yeah. So I'll just go over my couple points from the Chargers. So their offense is night and day from last year. It looks like their weapons are actually weapons. Like, when was the last time you see like Keenan Allen perform like that? Another thing is, I would like to see Justin use his legs more. Create that scare the defense a little bit when you're airing it out, because he actually did air it out a little bit more this game, which I like. So the defense, they did a good job stopping the run early on, but they fell apart in OT. And that just goes back to coaching, like what I was saying. Like, they just can't keep it together. Like, they need to learn how to win. The weirdest thing for me was the Trey Pipkins 2-point conversion, because why the fuck is Trey Pipkins getting the ball? But yeah, no, Kellen Moore will probably be the next head coach. They didn't run the ball as well as they did last game, which was kind of concerning because I really think like for that pass game to work, they need to get that run game going, especially with Eckler out. But hopefully they get it back next week. So kind of going over to the Tennessee side of things, Tannehill is just like he's just very meh. But his deep balls looked really nice. The one to Burks and the one to Chris Moore, like they looked nice.
But I had to really restart my TV when I restart the whole play when I saw the Traylon Burks one. I was like, hold on, dude, I must be sleep. I must be seeing things.
So, but this just made me realize they should have just paid AJ Brown. Why did they not pay AJ Brown? Like, I don't know. It was very frustrating watching this game. Chig Okonkwo, physical as fuck.
Beast.
He is the real deal. And another thing is like, when will Henry slow down? He looks like he's still in his prime.
Dude, I was just talking about this.
The O-line, not great in run block, even worse in pass block. There was constant pressure in the pocket. It has to be addressed because I think if they can get the deep game going, that like obviously Henry will flourish. But at the end of the day, like the Titans played Titans football. They were the more physical team and better coached in OT, and it resulted in a win.
No, absolutely. You know, my things about Titans too is I very much agree with everything you're saying. I think, you know, if you're the Titans, you know, Tannehill obviously is concerning you and you can see their aggression in tune. But again, he can still make plays. And when he's being smart, you know, and he's not trying to do too much like he was against the Saints, you know, he can still produce. And as he shows you, again, against the poor defense, but it is what it is. They got the dub. They looked good on offense. And Tajay Spears, I wanted to say, because your thing about Derrick Henry is absolutely accurate. Derrick Henry is still, you know, he's still King Henry. He's still just going to push the piles. He's going to do what he's going to do. Tajay Spears, though, you got to love it if you're a Titans fan, man. You got to love it. He's looked really awesome for a rookie. Just strides, man. The strides are they're just electric. Yeah, Traylon Burks, too, you got to love seeing him on the deep connection. You know, I say, if anything, I thought D-Hop maybe was going to be getting more targets than he has these first couple weeks.
Yeah.
But I think it just comes with the age. It is what it is.
I think he just like pulls a defender.
No, exactly. At this point, it's basically absolutely. And he still is going to get his targets. You know he will. But yeah, Chig Okonkwo too, up-and-coming star, no doubt, up-and-coming star. He fits very much in that thing I was saying about a lot of tight ends. You know, they don't have the big numbers right away. They're not getting Laporta numbers, but you see the blocking, you see him getting good targets, you see him doing his thing with running routes, and you're like, okay, he's on the up. Definitely is Chig Okonkwo right now. You know, Titans defense, definitely still an electric unit. You know, Jeffrey Simmons still doing his thing. Say, you know, Danico Autry looks really, really good out the gates this year too. You know, he absolutely balled out against the Saints. Made Trevor Penning look like a college kid. So it's just
I like their defense. It's been
Landry too. You know, Landry looks really good this year. I got to give credit was due. He's just, I mean, even not a bunch of like sacks or anything, but pressures he's getting home. Harold Landry looks really good.